Okay, what is going on YouTube? I am back with another video. So this is like my third video for the day, which is weird because I usually don't do 3 videos a day. But I just want to do this video because, oh man, I just had probably one of the best experiences. This last 2 days. Um, yesterday I was with my friend Evan. I got to hang out with him. Evan, he's E Money on YouTube for those who are new. And today I got a new subscriber, this kid named Breyson Vaghn. And I saw him at church today, and he told me, "Do you have a YouTube channel?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sure," but I didn't have my phone with me at the time because my phone was charging, and so I just. But he told me he had 9 subscribers. I was like, "Oh, word," and I don't know how we got in this conversation, but we was talking about wrestling, and I was like. He's like, "Oh, do you know Jeff Hardy? Do you know? Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of wrestling. I like Jeff Hardy and like, we got Seth Rollins and stuff like that, and Hardy Boys. Do you remember the Dudley Boys?" I was like, keep going. Do you know The Rock? You know Rakishi? I was like, oh my God, that was like my childhood. Like, I mean, for those who are my age, man, I remember when wrestling was the thing, man. Like in the if you was growing up in the late '90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, like wrestling was the thing. Like it was so hype. It was SmackDown. I mean, especially used to come on UPN and just like, man, just the stuff like the fact that you know all this stuff was just like, oh my God. So you know, we talked about wrestling for a good like 30 minutes, and then we had to leave because the service, because Wednesday night service is like used like an hour or two, so we left and the gym was locked because church. Well, it's not my church, but it's my friend's church. He has a gym where they have a gym where for like it's called a multi-purpose building. So I left my phone in the building because I need to charge my phone because my phone's about to be dead, and I don't want my mom calling me or texting me, and not and my phone be dead. So my friend Jerry unlocked the door, and I got my phone, got my charger, but I wasn't, but by that point, he was ready in the car, so I just asked him, you know tell me your channel name, and I just typed it in my Kindle, which is I'm using right now, and I'll say I scouted him when I get home. So I saw when I got home, I typed his name. I spelled his name wrong. It's kind of embarrassing to say, but I spelled his name wrong like 3 times before I got it right. Cause I thought it says Bryson, but it's Brayson. So I was just I was just typing his name. Then I finally found out. I say, "Oh, that's the kid. That's the kid." I don't want to say his real name because he's I don't want to get him in trouble. But Brayson, I just typed in Brayson, and it was just like, oh man, my boy's a YouTuber. Oh my gosh. And then he told me he was born in 2009. I was like, wow, it's crazy how like he's born in 2009. I was I turned 13 that year, 2009, man. That was when I was turned 13 in 2009. Oh my gosh, man, it was just like I remember just like it was yesterday, man. I told I turned 13 2 days for my MJ died and Michael Jackson died, and it was just like crazy how now 2009 borns are able to talk and able to do YouTube. Like I still remember like my god brother was born the year before that, and I remember when he was like a baby, and I was like, dang, yo, time goes by fast. Like, I don't want to sound old, but man, like I swear, like 2009 just felt so recent. But then I look back at 2009, I was like, wow, we were still using Blackberries. you know, we were still using on MySpace. Not half my scars don't even know about MySpace. It's crazy. You know, that was a thing when I was 13. But yeah, but yeah, I'm just saying to myself, I'm just saying that to say, man, like I really enjoy talking to him. Like it's just such a blessing just to be a blessing, especially like younger people. Like I always felt like I was called to like serve, the younger kids, and like and just being at this church, really kind of brought that out of me because like like everybody looks up to me because I'm like I'm 22 and everybody's like under everybody's like 20 and under like it was me, my friend Andrew's 20, I think he's like 20 or 21. Then the rest and then everybody else is like like in their late teens, stuff like that, teenage years. Sniper Supreme Snipes, one of my subscribers, he's like 12 and his brother's like 17. So I'm just like, wow, like I just like an abundance of young people, in that building, and they all younger than me, and just like, wow, just so I'm just so humbled by that because like I remember when I was their ages, man, it was just man. I used to look up to all the older kids in my church. I used to look up to them, man. I can't wait to be bigger. I can't wait to be a teenager. I can have more freedom. And now I'm looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm I'm 22. Oh my gosh, man, I really, man, oh man. But with my book being out and stuff like that, I pray that it really inspires young people like him, and and just really pray that God uses me to reach more young people. So with that being said, this is Mario. Sign off.